It's all relative. And it's about what you focus on that makes the difference in where you go. Hey, this is Diane Hochman from DianeHochman.com, and I was contemplating this concept the other day. I have a large group of people I work with in marketing and, training them, and people in downline teams and affiliates and so on. And a lot of times people will be, focusing on what's not going their way, what's not working, and so on. And, I got to thinking, it's kind of all relative. And I'm going to use some personal examples, and I'm going to reveal myself to you to make the examples clear so that you can, get some perspective on your own life and your own progress in your business and your health and your wellness and everything. If you look back at videos of me from 4 years ago, you can see that I was quite a lot thinner than I am now. Quite a lot thinner. But then if I take you back to pictures from 12 years ago, you can see that I'm quite a lot thinner than I was then. So I'm heavier now than I was a couple years ago, but I'm much thinner now than I was 12 years ago. So the question is, am I thin or am I heavy? Which one am I? And which one do I focus on? Because relative to 1999, I'm looking mighty good. Relative to 2007, I'm looking a little chubby. Which one is the reality? The reality is the reality that I choose. I can beat myself up, or I can celebrate myself, because there was a point in my life that I would have been thrilled to be this, and there's other points in my life where I'd be unhappy to be this. Do I want to be unhappy or do I want to be happy? Choice is mine. A lot of people talk about, when business isn't good or something and they don't have as much money as usual, and they say they're broke. Well, guys, I've been broke. I need $40,000 to qualify for broke. I've been broke, bill collectors, worrying about losing the house broke. And I've also flown high and I've had months where I've made more money in a month than my father made in a year in most of his years in working. So when business is a little slow, am I broke? Is it bad? Or is it the miracle that I prayed for when I was truly broke? It's all relative. The question is, how do I want to look at it? The difference between a big month and a huge month, even a little month for me now compared to where I was is a blessing, from heaven. So do I want to focus on being rich, or do I want to focus on being poor? Because it's all relative, isn't it? If you're generating leads, one week you get a lot of leads, another week you don't get a lot of leads. You have a marketing method that's working like gangbusters, and then there's a slap out on the internet and it stops working. So you're lead broke, so to speak. Most of us, when we started our careers, we didn't know how to generate a lead, and we would have given anything for 10 leads. Nowadays, many of us that, have advanced, we generate hundreds and thousands of leads. So if you have a lead with 100 and you're used to 1,000, it seems crappy. But it's really would have been heaven to us when we were starting. Which one is it? Is it crappy or is it incredible? It's all relative. And it's what we choose to focus on. So as you approach your business, as you approach your relationships, as you approach your health, your wellness, all the things, always remind yourself it's all relative. And I can choose to celebrate and enjoy what I have now, or I can choose to wallow and be unhappy with what I have now. An object in motion stays in motion. We learned this in basic physics. And whatever direction we're focusing in, we tend to focus further in that direction. If we think something's bad, we tend to focus further, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. If we think something's good and we focus that way, it tends to get better and better and better and better and better. So we have choices. And we have the choice not to beat on ourselves. We have the choice to celebrate where we are. We have a choice to recognize that there was a time in our lives that most of us would have given anything to have what we have today. And if you're at the bottom of the barrel today, because I've been there, if you're at the bottom of the barrel today, you have a choice to focus on there's nowhere to go but up. It's all relative. And these thresholds, these thresholds, the two ends of that line, wherever you are in the middle of it, you know, it can be anything you want it to be. So, some food for thought for all of you that are working hard at a business. You know, it's the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. And the question is, it's half empty or half full compared to what? I'm broke compared to what? You live in this country, I don't care how broke you think you are. You're rich if you go to another country. You go to different parts of the third world. They pray for your scraps and your leftovers. It's relative. So, we'll see you guys later. If you'd like more training, of course, I always have lots of business training, marketing, social media, all that other good stuff. But sometimes it's important to do a little mindset training too. You can find that at Diane at DianeHockman.com. We'll see you later.